Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of your comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work towards meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Mark Troxel, your Cynthiana Edward Jones financial advisor at 136 East Pike Street. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington will be having their cattle sale. Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington is located just off I-75 at exit 120 and has many loading docks. To stay up to date with Bluegrass Stockyards, visit bgstockyards.com. From there, you can view market reports, loads and groups, and you can even watch the auctions online. Once again, visit bgstockyards.com, and don't forget every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington's cattle sale.
Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game that these student athletes are about to play. Give each one of them the courage to play this game in a manner which by their words and actions are pleasing to you. Let all of us, student athletes, students, coaches, parents, and fans, enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for members of the opposing team. Father, we ask you to bless each one of us, especially those coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us all under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with each of us in this game. For it's in his name we pray. Amen. My name's Bruce Templeton. I'm minister of Unity Christian Church at 5848 Highway 36 West outside of Cynthiana. Love to have you come visit us in our Sunday morning services. They're 9 and 10:30. We'd love to see you there. Come out and join us this Sunday. We're worth the drive.
Alrighty, back here at Counterclocks Field in Lexington, the quarterfinal round of this year's state tournament about to begin. Let's take a look at the starting batting order for Henderson County, which will be the visitors on the scoreboard, which means Harrison County will be the home team. Leading off will be their center fielder, Drew Meadows. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Cooper Vowles. Behind him, Brendan Cates, who's on the mound today for Henderson. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Paxton Gardner, in the cleanup spot. Gardner's batting for Jace Hicks, the catcher. The fifth place batter is the right fielder, Dax Wilson. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Bryce Hayden. In the seventh spot, the second baseman, Seth Galloway. He'll be followed by Caden Dotson, who's out in left field. And rounding out the batting order today for Henderson County will be their shortstop, Alec Satterfield. So once again for the Colonels, Meadows, Vowles, Cates, Gardner, Wilson, Hayden, Galloway, Dotson, and Satterfield. Meanwhile, Harrison County defensively looks like this. Brian Vaughn is behind the plate with Corey Vaughn at first. Cliffy McElvain's over at second with Mason Smiley at third and Elijah Harris at short. And left to right in the outfield, Malachi Feeback, Jay Sean Lewis, and Cameron White, all backing up the pitching of J.D. Kendall. Kendall making only his second appearance in the postseason as he was the starter and winner in a complete game victory over Campbell County in the 10th Region Championship game. In that particular ball game, Kendall went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and just 2 walks while striking out 6, and gave up just 1 run, and it was earned. We'll go over JD's complete numbers on the season after this first pitch to Drew Meadows. Meadows, a left-handed batter. The wind and the first pitch is going to be taken down low for ball 1 as we're underway here in Lexington in the third quarterfinal round game of today's action. Kendall wheels and fires the next pitch, which is going to be on the inside corner for strike 1. Kendall overall making his 11th appearance, his 10th start. He's thrown 50 innings, giving up 45 hits and 20 walks while striking out 44. He's given up 30 runs, 17 of which have been earned. Here's a fly ball into center field. Lewis in the gap now gives way to Feeback, who will make the catch for out number 1. Just to finish up on JD's pitching numbers, he has a 2.38 ERA on the season, and opponents are batting .231 against him. As a staff, Harrison County has been phenomenal in the postseason. Their staff ERA, 1.24, and opponents are batting just .224 against us. Our pitchers have thrown 37 strikeouts in the postseason while walking just 12. Cooper Vowles at the plate now. First pitch is a bouncer to third. Gobbling it up is Smiley. His throw across the diamond is a little bit high, but Corey Vaughn is able to climb the ladder and bring the ball down as he touches the bag before Vowles gets there for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the pitcher, Brennan Cates. Cates on the season, batting .302. Tied for the team lead in doubles with 7. Leads the team in home runs with 3. Is also co-leader on the squad in RBIs with 22. Very wide open stance, kind of reminiscent of Andres Galarraga. First pitch to him is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Nice pitch. Cates in the postseason. Find him here. Tell me about it after this next pitch from Kendall, who winds and fires the 0-1, which is going to be a high chopper left side. Rushing hard is going to be Smiley in the dirt, throws it to first. Catching it, Corey Vaughn for out number 3. Remember, we're playing on turf, so every throw, every bounce on the ground is going to be a true hop, and we've seen that many times throughout this tournament, kids being used to playing on a turf field, and Mason Smiley played it perfectly. 3 up and 3 down, so as we head to the bottom of the first, your score, Henderson County nothing and Harrison County coming to bat. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Is your tractor getting up there in hours? Are you looking to add a new piece of equipment to your operation? We know that tractors and other farm machinery can last a long time, but financing new takes no time at all with Ag Credit Express. If it's time for new equipment, you can finance it fast and easy with Express. Ask your local dealer about the Express option or visit us at our Paris office, 201 Commerce Drive, or agcreditonline.com.
It's never a bad time to count your blessings. One of our blessings is being able to serve you. Thanks for the opportunity. Hinton Mills, serving farmers since 1918.
Since 1956, your local hometown station and the home of the Breds and Phillies, WCYN, 1400 AM and 101.3 FM.
Alrighty, back here at Counterclocks Field. The Henderson County Colonels go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Now let's see what the Harrison County batters can do against Brennan Cates. Leading off for the Breds will be Elijah Harris, the shortstop. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Cliffy McElvain. The third place here is the first baseman, Corey Vaughn. He'll be followed in the cleanup spot by the right fielder, Cameron White. Batting fifth will be the third baseman, Mason Smiley. The sixth place batter is Malachi Feeback, who's out in left field. He'll be followed by the pitcher, J.D. Kendall. The eighth spot is occupied by the catcher, Brian Vaughn. And rounding out the batting order today for the Breds will be J. Sean Lewis out in center. So real quick, Harris, McElvain, Corey Vaughn, White, Smiley, Feeback, Kendall, Brian Vaughn, and Lewis. Cates' first delivery to Elijah is going to be taken outside for ball one. Defensively for Henderson, Jace Hicks is behind the plate with Bryce Hayden at first. Seth Galloway's at second. Cooper Val's the third baseman. Alex Satterfield is patrolling short. Next pitch is going to be a little high for ball two. Caden Dotson's out in left field. Drew Meadows is in center with Dax Wilson in right. All backing up, Cates is pitching. This is only the second appearance in the postseason for Cates as he forces Elijah to bounce one to the left side. Shortstop Satterfield fires over to first base in time for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 down for Cliffy McElvain. That one game in the postseason that Cates threw was against Caldwell County in the first round of the second region tournament, a game that was won by Henderson 4-1. In that particular ball game, Cates went 5 innings, did not give up a hit, but walked 7 and struck out 5, gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. McElvain at the plate. We'll go over the complete numbers for Cates as we get a chance. Next pitch is sliced foul down the right side as the count goes 0-1. Overall on the season, Cates making his 10th appearance, all 10 starts. He's thrown 47 innings, giving up 27 walks and 34 hits while striking out 42. He's given up 29 runs, 10 of which have been earned, has a record of 5-3 and an ERA of 1.49. And opponents are batting just 194 against him. So a quality pitcher in the person of Cates. Next pitch is swung on and missed by McElvain. as he now sees himself in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Cates, a senior, winds and fires the next pitch. It's going to be up high for ball 1. McElvain in the postseason has had some struggles, going just 1 for 12, but he has walked 4 times. So the next pitch is on its way, bounces up there as the count will go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score. We're at the bottom of the first inning. Harrison County 1 out, nobody on. You've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813. McElvain stands back in as Cage wheels and fires the break even, which is in the dirt again for ball 3. Both of these teams have won state titles in the past. Harrison County 4 times. In 93, 97, 98, and 2010. Henderson County winning their lone title back in the year 2000. The wind and the next pitch is slap foul. Just in front of the roof. Caroming over into part of the Henderson County crowd. But no way was hurt. So count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind and the payoff again is slapped to foul again. And once again, it stays in play, but the right fielder Dax Wilson couldn't catch up with it. So a couple of 2-strike foul balls by Harris, or make that McElvain rather. McElvain now with 14 2-strike foul balls on the season. Now, time called by the catcher Hicks as he looks into the dugout to verify a sign. Overall on the season, McElvain has raised his average to 385, has 5 doubles overall on the season and 21 ribbies. Over at shortstop, Satterfield playing more towards second base now than he was before. Otherwise, the outfield straight away. The wind and the 3-2 once again is fouled off once again. So if nothing else, McElvain is making Cates work here in this first plate appearance between the 2 rivals. A lot of maroon out there. Henderson County more of the darker maroon, while Harrison County more of the cardinal maroon. If you want to see a difference between the 2 schools. Henderson County is 6A school football-wise. Usually has to battle Christian County to get out of the second region. Here's a bouncing ball left side, gobbled up by the third baseman Bowles. His throw to first base is in time to retire McElvain for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Corey Vaughn. Corey, the first baseman today, he was the winning pitcher in last night's 2-1 victory over Pikeville. Batting wise, Corey in the postseason is now 4 for 17. He scored 3 runs, having a double, a homer, 4 RBIs, and a couple of walks. First pitch to him is swung and missed, an eye-high fastball that Vaughn went chasing after. Overall on the season, Corey batting a team-high 458. 11 doubles, a triple. He also has 4 home runs. Next pitch is going to be staying up high and inside. One of those home runs coming in the championship game of the 10th region when he went deep against Campbell County. Corey also leads the team in RBI for 44. Next pitch is taken on the outside part, actually outside the outside part. This count goes to 2-1. See Doc Faulkner down there watching the play as it goes. Next pitch is a bouncer to the right side. Room service hop for the second baseman Galloway is thrown to first base in time to retire Corey Vaughn for out number 3. So just like the Colonels in the top half of the frame, the Breds go down 1-2-3. So we head to the top of the second-tier score. Harrison County nothing, and Henderson County likewise. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Angelo's Pizza, home of the Stromboli, located at 27 South of Cynthiana and 1311B West Shelby Street in Falmouth. They open at 10:30 each day, and they would love to feed you today. You know about their Strombolis. Did you know they have daily specials, including that pizza, the salad, sandwiches, and a whole lot more? Check out Angelo's Pizza, 27 South of Shelby Street in Falmouth, or call ahead 234-2328 in Cynthiana, or in Falmouth 654-5454. That's Angelo's Pizza.
When you're sick or injured, there's no place like home. That's why they invented home medical equipment. Most people believe that Josh Sorrell invented home medical equipment, but he really didn't. He just developed a way to deliver and service medical equipment better than anyone else. So when the need arises, anything from a cane to a wheelchair, Sorrell Home Medical is the place to go. In Cynthiana on West Pleasant, nobody does it better than Sorrell. Nobody but nobody.
Back here at Quarterfinals State, Riders team able to score in the first inning. Now it's the maroon-clad Henderson County Colonels. Chance to do something here in the second. They'll be sending the middle third. They ordered the plate. Paxton Gardner, the DH. Dax Wilson, the right fielder. And Bryce Hayden, the first baseman. Well, if you're building a custom home, addition to your house, or a metal pole building, you need C&B Construction. Call Vincent at 859-588-4271 and let C&B build on your dreams. Go Breds and Phillies. Unfortunately, the Phillies lost in the first round of the softball state tournament last night to Central Hardin, 8-3. Most certainly a disappointing loss. Obviously, a disappointing loss. But Phillies had a good year. They get all but one senior back next year, and so they should make a run at the state tournament again next spring. First pitch is going to be taken for strike one by Gardner. Gardner DHing for the catcher, Jace Hicks. Gardner in the postseason, 5 for 13 with a couple of runs scored, a double and 4 RBIs. The wind and the next pitch is going to be low and outside. Game is up at 1-1. Overall on the entire season, Gardner batting an even 300. 3 doubles, a couple of homers, tied the team lead in RBIs with 22. Kendall's next pitch is a very high chopper to the left side. Smiley has it. Double pumps, fires to first in time for out number 1. So they've tested Smiley 3 ground balls in a row. And as all Harrison County fans will tell you, you don't do that to Mason Smiley because he'll make that play 99.99% of the time. They'll bring Dax Wilson, the right fielder, to the plate. Wilson in the postseason, 1 for 12. So having his own difficulties trying to get on base since the regular season ended. Ryan Vaughn now calls the pitch, but time is called by Wilson. Wilson wears the number 29 on the back of his jersey. Now Brian goes through the sequence again to Kendall. And the pitch is going to be fouled straight back for strike 1. Mark July the 29th on your calendar for Cynthiana Bike Fest. Bike games, kids zone, live music all day long. Check it out on July the 29th in downtown Cynthiana. That's the Cynthiana Bike Fest. Next pitch is going to be down low. This county was up at 1-1. Henderson County 2-0 in their previous experiences at the state tournament in this round. This next pitch is delivered and smacked into right field. Cameron White, though, is there to make the grab for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down will bring Bryce Hayden to the plate, the first baseman. Hayden, during the postseason, 3 for 12, has 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. He's also walked 3 times, so he likes the number 3. Let's make him get out number 3 here and make him hate the number altogether. Some construction equipment going past us behind the left field fence here at Counterclocks Field. Nice place to watch a baseball game for sure. First pitch is down low for ball 1. This is the 10th game I've seen at this facility this season over the last 3 days. I've seen a lot of baseball. And we'll stay here to watch the Whitley County South Warren game as well as the next pitch is low and inside for ball 2. All together on the season, Hayden batting just 185. Don't walk this person. The wind and the next pitch is going to be swung and missed for strike 1. 2 out, nobody on for Henderson here in the scoreless game in the top half of the second inning. in front of a really nice contingent from Henderson County. Next pitch is going to hit him on the back of the leg. You just hit a guy that was averaging on the interstate. In any case, for Bryce Hayden, that is the 4th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. That'll keep the inning going for the Colonels for Seth Galloway, the second baseman. Galloway batting .209 with 3 doubles and 7 RBIs. Over at first base, Hayden will be held on by Corey Vaughn. Hayden does have 10 steals this year, so he's definitely a threat to possibly take off over at third. Smiley is stepping on the infield grass. Rest of the outfield pretty much straight away. Wind blowing from right to left. The first pitch is up high for ball 1. See, Galloway in the postseason 1 for 6 with a run and an RBI and 5 walks. Yeah, that wind has been knocking balls down all day long. So if you get it up in the air, it ain't going to sail out of here. Kendall takes a look at first, throws that direction, but diving back in plenty of time is going to be Hayden. Reds in the last couple of games have picked off 3 different base runners. Kendall takes a glance over his left shoulder at Hayden, and the pitch is going to be bunted. Picking it up backhanded as Kendall is thrown to first base is in time to retire Galloway for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the second with your score. Harrison County nothing and Henderson County nothing. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
The real estate market can be tricky to maneuver. That's why it's always good to have someone that's experienced a lot. And Doug Hampton with Palmer Hampton Realty has that experience. 49 years in the business. Doug knows how to help you with buying or selling commercial, residential, or farmland. Visit palmerhampton.com to learn more or visit them at 101 East Pike Street. Phone number to call, 859-588-7120. Palmer Hampton Realty.
Friends Dan Tackett and Cynthiana Tire have been serving the auto needs of Cynthiana and the surrounding area since 1977. He likely knows you, your car, and the right questions to ask to match brand and tread type to safely meet your motoring needs. And being an authorized dealer for Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, and Michelin, assure a wide selection of tires to choose from. 1024 New Lair Road at the old RECC farm is their location. 234-4371 their telephone number. Stop by or give Dan a call today.
Alrighty, back here at Counterclocks Field. We're heading to the bottom of the second inning in this quarterfinal round matchup of the state tournament. The Colonels of Henderson County and our own Thoroughbreds are knotted up in a 0-0 tie. Cynthiana Hardee's has you covered for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try the new BLT hand-breaded chicken sandwich soon. That's at Cynthiana Hardee's on US 27 South. Here in the bottom of the second inning, the middle third of the order coming up for the Thoroughbreds. Cameron White, Mason Smiley, along with Malachi Feeback. Back on the mound for his second inning of work will be Brennan Cates. Cameron White in the postseason, 6 for 15. That's a .400 batting average. Has 4 runs scored, a couple of doubles, a couple of RBIs, and a walk as well. First delivery to him from Cates is going to be taken inside for ball 1. Brett Sr. steps back in, one of the 7 seniors associated with this year's team. Next pitch is going to be a pop-up into right field. Calling for it now, the right fielder, Wilson. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Looked at first like there might be communication problems between Wilson and the center fielder Meadows, but Meadows veered off at the last second, allowing Wilson to make the catch. They'll bring Mason Smiley to the plate. Mason in the postseason is 5 for 14 with 5 runs scored, a couple of home runs, and 3 RBIs. The wind by Cates, and the pitch is going to be popped foul out of play to the right side for strike 1. Overall on the season, Smiley batting .381, has 8 doubles, 4 homers, and 26 RBIs. Wheels the bat around as Cates peers in to get the sign from Hicks. Now the senior winds and fires the pitch, which is going to be popped up in foul territory on the right side. Chasing after it will be the catcher Hicks, but he'll run out of room as the count will go no balls and 2 strikes. Well, are you in the market to buy or sell a vehicle? Nick Cox with Georgetown Auto Sales would love to help you. You win with Nick. Kind of a warmish day here at Counterclocks Field, but not unbearably so. Although I'm glad that our fans get to sit in the shade after sitting in the sun last night. It's a fair trade-off. Next pitch is going to be taken a little bit low. This count goes 1-2 on Smiley. 1 out, nobody on for the Breds here in the bottom of the second. No score yet. Earlier today, number 1 Lexington Catholic knocked out by Apollo 7-3. The wind by Cates, and the next pitch is going to be at the knees for strike 3. So first strikeout of the ball game by Cates will bring Malachi Fee back to the plate. Feedback went 1 for 3 last night, breaking out of a 1 for 14 stretch that he's had in the previous 5 games. So hopefully Malachi can send one far and deep. Cates' first delivery to him is going to be up high for ball 1. Feedback out in left field. One of the 2 senior starting 8s that we'll lose after this season. Next pitch is going to be taken down low. The other one, of course, being Cameron White, the right fielder. 2-0 to count to feedback. Base is empty. Cates' next delivery is a pop-up in foul territory on the third base side, and the ball's going to bounce in between the third baseman and the catcher. I don't know if there was a miscommunication there, but both of them looked like they had a beat on it right in front of the Harrison County dugout. But then the ball just bounced in between them. So feedback gets second life. Let's see if he can make the most of it here. Harrison County making their 12th appearance in the state tournament. They've got an overall record of 15-7. And in quarterfinal round games, a record of 2-3. Next pitch is right down Main Street. The count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On Malachi. The wind and the break even is going to bounce up there to load up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Getting the sign for the dugout, Hicks flashes it onto his battery mate Cates on the mound. And the payoff is going to be popped up to the right side, but it's going to sail out of play. So the count will remain 3-2. Breds, of course, in the postseason, knocked off Nicholas County in the district championship game 4-0. In the first round of the 10th region tournament, got a couple of home runs from Mason Smiley on the way to a 6-2 win. And then a 5-run second gave him a win over Mason County in the semifinals 11-4 before beating Campbell County in the championship game. Here's a shot to left field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting for feedback. Keeps the inning alive for the Thoroughbreds. I'll bring J.D. Kendall to the plate. Kendall on the mound today for Harrison County. Batting-wise in the postseason, J.D. is 2 for 8 with 4 runs scored, a double, 3 walks. He's also been hit by a pitch twice. So even though the batting average might not be all that great, his on-base percentage is pretty nice. Feedback will be held on at first base by Hayden. Nice big hole on the right side of the infield if Kendall can go the opposite way. First pitch is going to be down low for ball 1. Talking about the Breds in the championship game of the 10th region. A 6-run fourth propelled them to an 11-1 win over the Camels in 6 innings. Kendall went the distance for a 5-hitter. Then, of course, the Breds beat Pikeville yesterday 2-1. Next pitch to Kendall is slapped into right field. This ball is going to drop in there for a base hit. And it's going to go all the way to the wall. Feedback on his way home. Kendall on his horse going to third, sliding on a triple. The senior puts Harrison County in the lead, 1-0 on the gapper to right center field. Center fielder Drew Meadows made a valiant attempt at that grab, but he just couldn't come up with it. And like we talked about before with this turf, once that ball starts off, it starts off fast. And the right fielder Dax Wilson had a long way to run. For Kendall, his first, or actually his second triple of the season. So the inning continues for now Brian Vaughn. Now the two officials exchanging signs about something. Oh, okay, Bryson Tucker has gone in to run for Kendall at third with Brian Vaughn at the plate. Brian in the postseason is 3 for 16, but does have 5 RBIs, which is co-most on the team. First pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Overall on the season, Brian Vaughn batting .279, has 3 doubles, a homer, and 16 RBIs. Cates from the stretch takes a glance over to third, and the pitch to Brian is going to be up high. This count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Breds are up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. With that on the right shoulder, Brian Vaughn awaits the next pitch. And it's going to be slapped foul and out of play to the right side. This count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Breds catcher. Harrison County 0-2 against top 20 competition this year, losing to Lexington Catholic and Warren East. And only 2-0 in 1-run games, one of those coming yesterday. Next pitch is going to be just a bit outside, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tucker running for Kendall, wanders away from the third base bag. Cates working from the stretch. And the pitch is a bouncer to third, gloved by Fowles. His throw to first is in time to retire Brian Vaughn for out number 3. But the Breds strike for a run on the RBI triple by J.D. Kendall. That was one of 2 base hits. There were no errors and 1 left. As we head now to the top of the third, your score, Harrison County 1 and Henderson County nothing. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Puppet Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Van Hook Hardware is a Cynthiana tradition with down-home customer service and a UPS service center. Drop by Van Hook Hardware on Pike Street and be sure to like them on Facebook.
Check out these bargains of the month while supplies last or until the end of the month. A 20-inch deluxe wind machine, $39.99. A 3x5-foot American flag, $15.99. A Four Seasons Courtyard extra large zero gravity chair, $59.99. A DeWalt brushless 1/4-inch cordless impact driver kit, $119.99. A DeWalt 10-piece screwdriver set, $19.99. A performance tool trolley jack and stand combo, $89.99. 108-piece mechanics tool and socket set by DeWalt, $89.99. And a 2-pack of 16-pound original Kingsford charcoal, $19.88. Those bargains and a whole lot more at Van Hook Hardware in downtown Cynthiana.
Alrighty, back here at Quarterfinals Field, the Breds have taken a 1-0 lead in this quarterfinal game of the state tournament by virtue of a triple by J.D. Kendall that brought home Malachi Feeback, who had gotten a single with 2 outs. Here in the top of the third for Henderson County, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters. Caden Dotson, Alex Satterfield, and then back to the top, Andrew Meadows. Hinton and Thomas Crease and Grill serve the best food around, just like the Breds and Phillies serve up big wins. Follow Hinton and Thomas on Facebook to find out where they'll be next. And JoJo and Randolph stay busy. And they stay busy for a reason. Their food's good. So anytime you see their truck around, you might want to stop and support the cause and also get you something good to eat. I wonder if they thought about bringing that truck up here. Of course, there's probably all kinds of permits and things you have to get. But they make a lot of money if they let them. Guarantee it. Caden Dotson, the left fielder, at the plate. Dotson in the postseason so far is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's been up in limited action. First pitch is going to be down low for ball 1. Overall on the season, Dotson bagged 184 on 7 of 38. Do not walk this man. Next pitch is going to be a fly ball into left field. Feedback going back near the track. Looks up, and this ball is out of here. Holy cow. Caden Dotson, a home run. His first of the season. And we it up at 1 apiece. Here's a kid that had only batted twice in the postseason coming into today's game, but ties it up with a long home run to left field. You just never know. Now bring Alex Satterfield to the plate. Caden Dotson, a junior. Wow. 1-1 your score here in the top of the third. The first pitch to Satterfield is going to be fouled off for strike one. Satterfield in the postseason, 5 for 11. Has 3 runs scored and a couple of RBIs. The wind, and Kendall's next pitch is taken on the outside part of the plate for strike two. It's his first time that the Henderson County Colonels have been to the state tournament since 2013. They lost in the semifinals to Mercer County. Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike three. That's their first up-loss strikeout of the ball game. So with one down, we'll go back to the top of the order. Andrew Meadows. Meadows, a fly ball out to left field when he came to bat before. Meadows, a left-handed batter. Coming in on the infield grass several steps is smiling. As the first pitch is delivered and swung on and missed for strike one. At least on that swing, Meadows did not show a bunt, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot. Meadows has 6 walks in the postseason, on 5 for 11, as the next pitch is delivered at the knees for strike 0-2 now the count to Meadows, who on the year leads the team in batting average at .350, with hits with 36 and 40 runs scored, 6 doubles and 2 homers. Next pitch is going to be just a bit inside for ball one. A ball and 2 strikes the count now to Meadows. A run already in the inning, 1 out and nobody on. Brian Vaughn gets the sign from the dugout, flashes it onto the mound. And the pitch is going to be up high this time. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meadows, a senior. 8 seniors on the Henderson County roster. So the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another Canuck-Wall strikeout delivered by J.D. Kendall. There are now 2 outs in the inning as Cooper Vowles will come to the plate. Vowles grounded out to third his first time up. And thus he is now 3 for 17 in the postseason, but does have a couple of doubles and 3 RBIs. Vowles stands in there. He's just a sophomore. Kendall wheels and deals the first pitch to him, which is going to be outside and low for a ball. Henderson County, their first appearance was in 1982, which is kind of similar to Harrison County's first bids to the state tournament was 1984. Henderson, an overall record in the state tournament of 8-3, including 2-0 in this quarterfinal round. Kendall, the 1-0 to the plate is going to be at the knees for a strike. Henderson only played 1 ranked team this year, falling to number 5 McCracken County early in the season in Paducah, 8-1. Next pitch is down low as the count goes to 2-1. This is a battle-tested Colonel squad as they've gone 5-5 in 1-run games. Remember, Harrison County's only played a couple of 1-run games this year. Next pitch is going to bounce up there as the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. 2 out, space is empty. 1-1 your score. And much to nobody's surprise, no common opponents between these 2 schools. because they're kind of far away from each other. Next pitch is going to be swung on and missed as the count goes full at 3-2. Weigland, the bat over top his right shoulder, is Vowles, and the payoff pitch is cued off the end of the bat foul. So Vowles will stay alive in this plate appearance. Well, El Pericatin, a great place to go and get Mexican food. Have a great buffet, great food off the menu. And it seems like there's always somebody out there eating, so it's a great place to eat. El Pericatin. Here's a fly ball, foul into the stands. So the count will remain 3-2 after a couple of two-strike foul balls by Vowles, the third baseman. Wind blowing from right to left, both inside the stadium and outside as well. The wind and the 3-2 once again is tipped foul into the mid of Brian Vaughn for strike three. Another Knuplau strikeout. But there was a big hit in the inning, the leadoff home run by Caden Dotson. That was the only hit. There were no errors and none left. So as we head now to the bottom half of the third, your score, Harrison County 1 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Let's get real. If you're looking for big-time sports, parties, pep rallies, and a huge campus, you'll find none of that at Maysville Community and Technical College. What you will find are hands-on training and university transfer programs taught by experienced instructors in small classes. You won't get lost in the crowd or end up with crippling debt. Visit maysville.kctcs.edu. College for the real world. College for your world.
At Knuplau, we say thank you to the Harrison County track, softball, and baseball teams. Little did you know back in March at the start of your season how much your success would mean to all of Cynthiana and Harrison County. Through determination and teamwork, all of you have earned the right to compete for Kentucky State Championships. Thank you for being a shining example of what is good in our community and challenging all of us to be our very best. We're rooting for you and hope you have the best weekend ever. Visit us at www.knuplau.com, like having a lawyer in the family.
All right, back here at Counterclocks Field as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. It'll be Jay Sean Lewis, Elijah Harris, and Cliffy McElvain for Harrison County facing off against Brennan Cates. Well, you have a big group to feed. You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Beta. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235-SNAP. Well, in the state track meet yesterday, Tanner Toomey did especially well. Thanks to Coach Graham for getting me this information. Tanner was third in the high hurdles in the state, sixth in the low hurdles, and had a personal best time in both events. So congratulations, Tanner Toomey, for doing very well at the state track meet over at UK, which was held yesterday. Tanner, an exceptional athlete, both on the track and on the football team. First pitch to Lewis is going to be taken for strike one. In the postseason, Jay Sean has gone 4 for 11 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and 4 walks. Next pitch to the lefty is going to be tipped foul into the mid of Hicks. So Jay Sean finds himself in the hole 0-2. Lewis batting .269 with a count of 2 strikes on him though. Here's a shot to right field. Going back, Wilson near the track. Reaches up and makes the grab about 2 feet away from the wall for out number 1. So Lewis gave the ball a ride, but the park just a little bit too big. That'll take us back to the top of the order and Elijah Harris. It is a big park here at Counterclocks Field. 320 down the lines, 400 to straightaway center field, and in their gaps, 382 in left and 375 in right. Oh, is it? Okay. So Great American Ballpark was patterned on this field as far as the dimensions are concerned. 1-0 the count to Elijah, who rounded out to short his first time up. So the next pitch is delivered down the left field line, foul, and this should go for extra bases. Chasing down the ball in the corner is Dotson, as Elijah Harris races into third base, or to second base, standing with a double. For Elijah, his team leading 14th double of the season. So with a potential run in scoring position, Cliffy McIlvain will return to the plate. McIlvain grounded out to third his first time up after really making Cates work, fouling off 3 two-strike pitches. McIlvain batting .300 this year with runners in scoring position. Cates gets the sign from Hicks, takes a look back at second, and Harris. And the pitch to McIlvain is a bouncer to the left side, but foul. 0-1 the count to the Breds second baseman. Interestingly enough, Henderson County only has 1 extra inning game this year, but coming in the regional finals, when in 11 innings they defeated Christian County 8-7. Got another tight one going here. 1-1 your score in the bottom of the third. The 0-1 to McIlvain is in the dirt. This count evens up at 1-1. Well, Harrison County's record of still remaining the last program to win back-to-back state titles that came to pass when St. X lost in the 7th Region Tournament Championship game to Eastern. So still wear that badge with pride. Next pitch to the plate is going to be taken on the outside part for strike 2. 1-2 now the count to McIlvain. Harris wandering away from the second base bag. Both the second baseman Galloway and the shortstop Satterfield trying to keep him close as Cates goes into the stretch. A look back at second. Another glance as well. And the pitch is a little poke to the right side. Chasing after him, the outfield is the first baseman Hayden, who will bring in the pop-up now, trying to throw out Harris at second, throws the ball away, and Harris will dive into third on the air. So not a wise decision that time by the first baseman after making the nice grab. But he's really lucky that the ball didn't carry him any farther down the wall in foul territory. So the runner on third and 2 outs for Corey Vaughn. Vaughn bounced out to second when he came to bat before. On the season, Corey batting .290 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Trying to get the tie-breaking run home. Number 44 levels the bat. Still looking from the stretch is Cates, and the pitch, a little pop-up foul and back into the crowd for strike 1. The winner of this game will move on to the semifinals next Friday, where they'll face the winner of the game coming up next between Whitley County and South Warren. Whitley County, the number 8 team in the state coming into the tournament, the last top 10 team standing. And they are a very good team. But so is South Warren. Should be a good game. Next pitch is going to be fouled off by Vaughn. The count goes to 0-2. Corey takes a second to collect himself before standing back in the batter's box as Harris makes his move down the line from third base. Remember, a lot of territory in behind the plate. Back to the backstop, so a pitch gets by, somebody's going to score. Next pitch bounces away from the catcher. Coming on home to score will be Elijah Harris as Harrison County takes a 2-1 lead here in the bottom half of the third inning. Ask and you shall receive. You should try that more often. So Breds up 2-1. A 1-2 count now on Corey Vaughn. So the Breds get back the run they gave up in the top half of the inning. 2-1, the identical score of the win over Pikeville yesterday. Here's a bouncer foul to the left side by Corey. This count remains 1-2. For Corey Vaughn, oddly, just his 7th 2-strike foul ball of the year. Usually very good about putting the ball in play. Next pitch is sent into center field. Meadows has a beat on it and will make the grab for out number 3. But the Breds score a run in the frame. There was one base hit, one error, and nobody was left aboard. So as we head now to the top of the fourth, your score, Harrison County 2 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Would you like to know that your home is safe and secure while you're away? Auto Systems on Bridge Street in Cynthiana can help you with a variety of home security systems to meet your needs. Auto Systems is also your store for your car audio needs. They carry Kenwood, JL Audio, Pioneer with Bluetooth capabilities, and Sirius XM satellite radio. Make your car the envy of your friends. Stop by and visit Tony at Auto Systems, 107 East Bridge Street, or call 234-1578.
Sometimes it's good to know that you don't have to drive all over the state to find the building materials you need to repair your home. 2x4s and nails, paint and brushes and caulk. You know we have the best selection of caulk in town. Also door locks, bolts and screws, treated lumber for your decks. We have quite a few products that no one else in town has. There's too many to mention. Really, I think you'll be surprised. Poindexter Lumber is behind you all the way, and that goes for the thoroughbred teams and Reds baseball. No matter the season, we say go Reds and go Breds. Come down and see the boys.
All right, back here at Counterclocks Field. 3 innings are in the books in this quarterfinal round game between the Colonels and the Breds. Through 3, Henderson County, a run on a hit. They committed the game's only error and left one runner stranded. Meanwhile, the Thoroughbreds, 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. They've left just 1 on board. Here in the top half of the 4th inning, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 batters, Brennan Cates, Paxton Gardner, and Dax Wilson. At Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of this state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau on Monday at 234-4514 and ask for Dustin or Amy. Standing in, Cates, who grounded out the third, his first time up. Kendall gets the sign as his first pitch to the plate is going to be smacked into center field. Lewis is there, though, to make the grab for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 up, and 1 down. We'll bring the designated hitter, Paxton Gardner, to the plate. Gardner batting for the catcher, Chase Hicks. Had a ground ball out to third when he came to bat before. As we mentioned, Shelby County winning earlier today. This is their first state tournament since 2010. The last time they were in the semifinals was 2007. Next pitch is outside low, 4-1. Now mark off Lexington Catholic. Don't have to worry about them anymore. This next pitch is taken for a strike, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kendall looks in to get the sign from Brian Vaughn. And the 1-1 to Gardner is going to be outside for ball 2. Apollo, who won earlier today, making their 8th state tournament appearance, but their first since 2015. The last 3rd region team to get to the semifinals was Owensboro back in 2009. This next pitch is going to be taken for a strike, and Gardner does not like that call at all, as his shoulders slumped as he walked away from the batter's box. Steps back in now, and the break-even pitch from Kendall is smacked right into the glove of Smiley for out number 2. Well, Gardner hit it right on the screws, but right at Smiley. So there are now 2 outs in the inning. Bringing the 5th place hitter and right fielder Dax Wilson to the plate. He had a fly ball out to right field when he came to bat before. '94, also the last time that Apollo was in the semifinals. Here's a bouncing ball left side. Harris scoops it up, double pumps, fires to first, in time to retire Wilson for out number 3. So for the second time in the first 4 innings, the Colonels go down in order. As we head now to the bottom of the 4th, your score remains Harrison County 2 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Jacob loves the game of basketball, but not as much as he loves his dad. Harrison Memorial Hospital reminds you that caring for the ones you love starts with caring for your own heart. We offer diagnostic and interventional cardiology. Our cath lab means quick intervention when mere minutes can mean being there for another slam dunk or not. Call 859-235-3748. Harrison Memorial Hospital. Take care of yourself. We'll take care of the rest. As we uncover long hauler symptoms of COVID-19, Harrison Memorial Hospital's Dr. Srinath Anangi offers post-COVID lung risk assessments. With testing, he can determine damage done and how to protect your lungs in the future. Dr. Anangi treats all pulmonary diseases and provides low-dose CT lung cancer screenings. Call 859-298-2690 today. Harrison Memorial Hospital. Take care of yourself. We'll take care of the rest.
All right, we head to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Counterclocks Field. Harrison County leading 2-1. It'll be the middle third of the order coming up. And Cameron White, Mason Smiley, and Malachi Feeback. Canuck Law understands that your situation is more than just a lawsuit or legal problem. It's your life. Visit CanuckLaw.com to find out how Brian can help you out. Well, much to my disappointment, the concession stand here does not, I repeat, does not sell fried bologna sandwiches. So I guess I'm going to have to wait till next year. Very sad. Wheeling the bat around White at the plate. He had a fly ball out to right field when he came to bat before. First pitch to him here is sent out of play on the right side for strike one. Let's see, Whitley County making its second ever state tournament appearance. The last time 2 years ago. The last 13th region team to get to the quarterfinals was South Laurel back in 2014. The last 13th region team to get to the semifinals, you have to dial the calendar all the way back to 1994 when Corbin got to the Final Four. But that's what Whitley County will be striving to achieve when they take on South Warren tonight. The wind and the next pitch is going to be outside as the count goes even at 1-1. Meanwhile, South Warren making their fourth appearance in the state tournament, their first since 2015. This is their first time playing in the quarterfinals. And they've got a tough assignment against the Colonels of Whitley County. Next pitch is down low for ball two. Got to see Whitley County play about 3 or 4 innings when we played down at the Class 2A state tournament. Whitley County played after the Breds got beat. Here's a bouncer to the left side. Satterfield throw to first in time. As the leadoff batter for the Breds is retired here in the bottom of the fourth. They're very strong. Got good offense, good pitching, good defense. They are one heck of a team. And South Warren is going to have a heck of a time trying to upset them here tonight. But as we've seen, you just never know. Ask Lexington Catholic. Ask McCracken County. They thought they were big stuff coming into the tournament, but they're not here anymore. First pitch to Smiley is swung on and missed for strike one. Smiley struck out his first time up. I know I've often quoted Joaquin Andujar, but he did have a great statement one time. So the next pitch to Smiley is sent into left field, right at the left fielder, Caden Dotson, for out number 2. Joaquin Andujar said you could describe baseball in one word. You just never know. Words of wisdom from Joaquin Andujar. Malachi Feeback to the plate now. Singled and eventually scored the first run of the game for the Reds on the Kendall triple. Now stands up there with 2 outs and nobody on here in the fourth. First pitch to Malachi is going to be up high for ball one. After going 1 for his previous 14, Feeback has hits in his last back-to-back plate appearances. Next pitch is sent high and hard, but fouled to the left side. There's your basic Malachi Feeback pounding of the ball. Just wasn't fair enough as the count goes even at 1-1. About 3 weeks ago, Malachi went to a stretch when he hit 7 home runs in 10 days. So the next pitch is up high for ball 2. I'll just take a standalone home run right here and right now. Give the Breds a little cushion. Right now they lead 2-1. Next pitch is swung on and missed. A shoulder level fastball that feedback couldn't stay off of as the count evens up at 2-2. Cates gets the sign from Hicks. And the break even to feedback is going to be outside. Set up that way, trying to get Malachi to chase a bad one, but feedback did not do it. This count goes full at 3-2. And the payoff is going to be down for ball 4. So feedback gets on base for the second time in the ball game. And the Breds are still alive with J.D. Kendall at the plate. J.D. launched one his last time up towards center field. Drew Meadows tried to make a diving catch but was unable to, and the ball rolled all the way to the wall. Eventually, Kendall ended up at third base with the RBI triple. For Kendall, I don't think I made mention of it, now in the postseason has driven in his first run. Here goes the runner. The pitch is down low for a ball, and there will not be a throw as Hicks had troubles getting it out of the mitt. So a stolen base puts feedback in scoring position down at second base with a 1-0 count on Kendall. Malachi being held close at second base by Galloway. And the pitch is going to be popped foul to the right side, and this ball may sail off of the netting that's right there in back of the first base dugout, evening up the count at 1-1 strike. Breds coming into the game with a 16-game winning streak on the line and a 32-8 record. Meanwhile, Henderson County looking for their 20th win of the season today as they'll come into the contest with a record of 19-17. A look back at second by Cates. And the 1-1 is poked into shallow right field. This could be trouble and bounces in there for a hit. Coming home to score early feedback. Another RBI base hit for J.D. Kendall. Puts Harrison County in the lead now, 3-1. Just a little breather down the right field line that nobody could catch up to. So it doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It just matters that you hit it somewhere where nobody's playing. Second RBI of the contest for Kendall. Bryson Tucker will go in to run for J.D., who gets a thunderous applause from the crowd gathered here on the Harrison County side as the senior, playing like a senior, leading the team here in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Ryan Vaughn to the plate now with Tucker on first and 2 out. Ryan grounded out to third when he came to bat before. Looks down to Coach Whitaker for the sign. Eddie Feeback in the first base coaching box. A glance over to first base by Cates, who sees Hayden holding the runner on. Now a bouncer foul to the left side for strike one. Breds now have more runs in this game than they did the entire first round win over Pikeville that they won by a score of 2-1. Glance to first again, and the pitch is going to drop in there for a strike. Ryan Vaughn now a count of 0-2. We've discussed Brian's struggles with a 2-strike count on him this year at 1 for 23. Time to break out of that slump. And the pitch is just a bit outside. Running the count to Brian at 1-2. Shadows starting to crawl in front of the third base dugout. Still a very pleasant evening for baseball. It was a bit cloudier earlier this morning, but the clouds soon went away. I mean, it's been a perfect week, Thursday, Friday, and today. Throw to first, not in time. Of course, the second part of this state baseball tournament will take place next weekend over at UK at Kentucky Proud Park. Hopefully Harrison County will be involved. A look over to first base at Tucker. good look. And the 1-2. Here goes Tucker. The pitch is going to be fouled back, however. Bryson will have to retrace his steps back to the first base bag. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans and handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more about it. Outfield playing Brian straight away. And the pitch is a stroke into center. This ball is dropping fast, but diving and making the nice grab will be Drew Meadows for out number 3. So put a gold star beside that catch by Meadows, as it probably saved another run. Then a run did come in the inning for the Thoroughbreds. There was one base hit. There were no errors and one left. As we head now to the top half of the 5th inning, your score, Harrison County 3 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Feed your farm with Southern States Co-op in Cynthiana. Whether you need feed for dogs, chickens, pigs, rabbits, horses, or cattle, your local Southern States team can help you find the best nutrition program for all of the animals on the farm and around the house. Stop by Southern States on US 27 south of Cynthiana or call 234-2161. That's 234-2161. Curbside service is available.
With all the financial headlines, you're wondering if your retirement savings will last. The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Mark Troxel. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for the journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by my office at 136 East Pike Street. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Since 1956, your local hometown station and the home of the Breds and Phillies, WCYN, 1400 AM and 101.3 FM.
All right, we head to the top of the 5th inning. The Thoroughbreds lead the Colonels by a score of 3-1. Your numbers through the first 4 show Henderson County a run on a hit. The game's only error. They've left 1 runner stranded. Meanwhile, Harrison County 3 runs on 4 base hits. They have played errorless baseball and left 2 aboard. Here in the top of the 5th inning for the Colonels, it will be 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. Bryce Hayden, Seth Galloway, and Caden Dotson. The only run so far for the Colonels coming off the bat of Dotson, a solo home run leading off the 3rd inning, his 2nd home run of the season. Well, you've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813. Back on the mound for his 5th inning of work, the starter for Harrison County, J.D. Kendall. So we said just his 2nd appearance in the postseason. The other one, though, in the region championship game when he pitched a complete game 5 hitter in that win over Campbell County. Standing at the plate, the left-handed batting Bryce Hayden. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Sees the first delivery here go outside for ball 1. Since that home run by Dotson, Kendall has retired 6 in a row. Next pitch by the senior to the plate is smacked to the right side. I shouldn't have said anything for a base hit by Hayden. Only the 2nd base hit of the day for the Colonels. Obviously the other one being the home run. So the runner on first and nobody out. Seth Galloway will come to the plate. We are having an awfully hard time with their batters in the lower part of the batting order. Hayden coming in, batting 184, has reached base twice. Dotson, who hit the home run, he's hitting 184 as well. Galloway himself bounced out to the mound his first time up. Over at first base, Corey Vaughn will be holding Hayden on as Smiley comes down the 3rd base line several feet. Kendall will throw to first, and they got him. Great pickoff move that time by Kendall. Picks off Hayden, who had wandered too far away from the first base bag. That's now 4 pickoffs that Harrison County has executed in the last 3 ball games. They've come in very handy. So Galloway stands in now with nobody on base. Wind and the pitch is going to be sent back into center field for a base hit. How important was that pickoff now? So back-to-back base hits, the first back-to-back hits in the game for Henderson County, and now bring the dangerous Caden Dotson back to the plate. Dotson, that home run over the left field fence, only the fourth home run hit so far in the tournament. As most times, the home run hitter, a right-handed hitter, having to hit the ball into a wind that's blowing in from left center, which is what Dotson did. He just hit it so hard, the jet stream didn't matter. First pitch to Dotson, this time's up high for ball one. At least we know this time not to mess around with Dotson. Corey Vaughn holding Galloway on at first. Galloway, 7 steals on the season. Doesn't take that big a lead. His team down by 2. And a teammate just got picked off, so he ain't going to wander too far at all. So the next pitch is up high for ball 2. 1 on, 1 out for the Colonels. Here in the top of the 5th, they trail by 2. A look over to first base by Kendall, and the pitch is going to be at the knees for a strike. A little bit of a slow call by the home plate umpire, but we'll take it. Stepping back into the batter's box with a little more determination is the junior. And the pitch is a bouncer to the left side. Harris has it. He'll flip it to McElbain for 1. The return to first base is not in time. But the lead runner is retired 6-4 on the fielder's choice. So with that runner on first and 2 outs, the 9th place hitter, Alex Satterfield, returns to the plate. Satterfield struck out his first time up. One of 3 Canuck Law strikeouts on the day by Kendall, all 3 coming in the 3rd. Now time is called as the Breds will have someone warming up in the bullpen. I think it's Jacob Craycraft. It's a hot day, and we don't want to let JD get too tired out. So if he starts showing signs of struggling, don't you know that Coach Whitaker will yank him and put Craycraft in? Or someone. We have all kinds of movement out in our bullpen. Henderson County's bullpen is also active. Leveling the bat at the plate, Satterfield is over at first base. Dotson being held on by Corey Vaughn. Now a throw over that direction, but not in time. See, Dotson on the season has only stolen 3 bases. And his team down by 2 here in the top of the 5th. I don't think he'll try to go. In fact, I'm kind of surprised he has a 2.5-step lead. Next pitch is going to be a ground ball to the left side. Gloved by Harris. He'll flip it to McElvain covering for out number 3. No runs, a hit. Make that 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th. Your score remains Harrison County 3 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington will be having their cattle sale. Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington is located just off I-75 at exit 120 and has many loading docks. To stay up to date with Bluegrass Stockyards, visit bgstockyards.com. From there, you can view market reports, loads and groups, and you can even watch the auctions online. Once again, visit bgstockyards.com, and don't forget every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington's cattle sale.
Is your tractor getting up there in hours? Are you looking to add a new piece of equipment to your operation? We know that tractors and other farm machinery can last a long time, but financing new takes no time at all with Ag Credit Express. If it's time for new equipment, you can finance it fast and easy with Express. Ask your local dealer about the Express option or visit us at our Paris office, 201 Commerce Drive, or agcreditonline.com.
Alrighty, back here at Counterclock Field in Lexington, continuing action in the boys state baseball state tournament, specifically the Clark's Pump and Shop baseball state tournament. Henderson County will carry a 2-run lead into the bottom of the fifth, and they'll have the 9, 1, and 2 batters. Jay Sean Lewis, Elijah Harris, and Cliffy McElvain coming up against Brendan Cates, who will toil in his 5th inning of work, the starter tonight for the Colonels. I don't think we ever passed over it, but the Colonels, to get here to the state tournament, first had to defeat Union County in their lone game in the 6th District Championship game. They did that 7-1. In the first round of the second region tournament, here's a bouncing ball left side, deep in the hole. A throw from Satterfield will not be in time. So an infield single by Jay Sean Lewis gets things started in a good way for the good guys. So we'll head back to the top of the order, Elijah Harris. Anyway, back to Henderson County's trip through the region. They beat Caldwell County 4-1. In the semis, knocked off Lyon County 9-6. And in the championship game, it took a little while to get done, but they defeated Christian County 8-7 in 11 innings. And then, of course, defeated Pulaski County last night 6-1 in another battle of Maroons. In fact, we had 2 battles of Maroons last night with Harrison County and Pikeville, who dresses maroon. And the other game, Henderson County and Pulaski County. Pulaski County calls themselves the Maroons, by gosh. Here's the throw to first, but diving back in time is Lewis. Lewis definitely a threat to run. He's stolen 19 bases this year and 20 chances. So I'm sure Cates will keep a very close eye on him. Being held on by Hayden as Harris awaits the plate. Harris, a double, a run scored. He's also grounded out to short. Long look into his catcher Hicks. Now time called by Harris. We'll take a practice swing. Earlier today in the quarterfinal round of this tournament, Shelby County defeated Eastern 9-2, and then Apollo upset number 1 Lexington Catholic 7-3. So Shelby County and Apollo will face each other in the semifinals next weekend. Here's a bouncer to the left side. The third baseman, Cooper Vowell's only play is to first base, where he will retire Harris, but the sacrifice is successful in that it will move the runner Lewis on down into scoring position at second base. Coming to the plate now, Cliffy McElvain. McElvain has grounded out to third. He's also popped out to the pitcher. Now making the slow stroll to the mound, head coach Adam Hines will discuss future plans with his battery and also his infield. Runner on second and 2 outs. I don't think he'll take anybody out right now. The bullpen had been active, but I suppose that whoever was warming up has gotten warmed up, which probably didn't take too long with the weather as hot as it is. Also a meeting with Coach Whitaker near the third base coaching box between Coach Cliffy McElvain and Corey Vaughn. Now the meeting on the mound is over, and Coach Hines will head on back to the first base dugout. Well, do you have a big group to feed? You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Tomato. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235-SNAP. So McElvain stands in now. As we said, 0 for 2 on the day. Down at second base, Lewis being held close by Galloway, the second baseman, and the shortstop, Satterfield. Cates takes a look at him, and the pitch to McElvain is going to be down low for ball 1. Cliffy, a junior, part of our all-junior infield, and sophomore catcher. Sophomore out in center field as well, so up the middle will be fine next year as well. A look back at second, and Cates' pitch is going to be smashed foul to the left side. The count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we've mentioned many times before, the Breds making their first appearance in the state tournament since 2013, where they defeated Wow High School in the first round and then lost to Central Hardin in the quarterfinals. So it's been a long 10 years. The Breds are making the most of their return trip, beating Pikeville yesterday and leading 3-1 here in this game. Here's a pop-up on the right side into the outfield grass. Will go the first baseman, Hayden, and he'll make the grab for out number 2. So at 2 down, and that runner still at second, Corey Vaughn returns to the plate. Corey has grounded out to second, also had a fly ball out to center field. Let's see, Corey now 3 for 19 in the postseason. We need him to get his hitting shoes on. Now would be a good time to start. Find a gap somewhere and bring Jay Sean home. A look back to second base by the pitcher Cates. And the pitch is going to be inside low. Nice stop that time by Hicks, keeping the ball in front of him and keeping Lewis at bay at second base. The Breds with single runs in the second, third, and fourth innings. The 1 run for Henderson County coming back in the third. We are presently in the bottom of the fifth. Cates from the stretch. And now time called by Corey Vaughn. Corey, the winning pitcher last night in the victory over Pikeville. Now trying to do damage with the bat. Working more deliberately now is Cates, and the 1-0 is just outside. This count goes 2 balls and no strikes. It's been a well-officiated tournament so far. Like I said, I've seen all but one game. Sure, the coaches at times have been upset about calls, but from my vantage point, 99.9% of them I agreed with. A look back at second by Cates. And the 2-0 is going to stay high for ball 3. Cameron White on deck. I don't think you want to walk Corey Vaughn to get to White. White, the cleanup hitter for Harrison County. Especially down 3-1 this late in the game in the fifth. Next pitch up high, ball 4. So the Breds will have runners on first and second for Cameron, who's had a fly ball out to right and also a ground ball out to shortstop. White on the season, batting .345 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's done very well in the clutch this year, along with his sterling defensive play in right field as well. Cates checks the runners. And the pitch to White is going to be a poke to the right side. Past the outstretched glove and a diving second baseman Galloway. Coming home and scoring on the play will be Lewis, as Harrison County's lead extends to 3 at 4-1 on the RBI base hit by Cameron White. Once again, a valiant effort by the second baseman Seth Galloway, but like I said, when you play on this turf, that ball gets out to you a lot faster. So if you don't adjust your mental, when do I need to dive, you ain't gonna make the play. So a 2-scooter single on the play puts runners on first and third here in the fifth. Mason Smiley at the plate now. He's struck out and had a fly to left field. First pitch is going to be on the inside corner for strike 1, as the catcher, J6, really sold that one. Over at first, White being held on by Hayden. Reds have now scored 1 run in each of the last 4 innings and lead by 3. Here goes the runner from first, and there will not be a throw. So a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Is that right? I think it was 1-1. Scoreboard at times has been off the mark. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Smiley. Smiley batting .318 this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the pitch is going to bounce up there as count 3-0. Umpire seems to think so, because he's not giving a sign. So 3-0 the count on Smiley. Okay, I thought it was 2-1. So 2-1 is the count. And the pitch is going to be popped up down the right side, but out of play. So now a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes on Smiley. Third baseman stands in as Corey Vaughn and White take their leads. A base hit here would break things open. And the 2-2 is fouled straight back at us. So the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reds being very aggressive at the plate in the postseason, and it has served them well. One of the best offenses in the state, as can be told by their high rankings in just about every statistical offensive category. 2-2 pitch is going to be fouled out of play to the right side. So a couple of 2-strike foul balls by Smiley have kept him alive here in this plate appearance. He now has 13 2-strike foul balls this season. He's a battler for sure. And just a junior. Flashing the sign to the mound, Hicks. A look at the runners by Cates, and the pitch is way inside this time. And that'll load up the count at 3-2. Let's see if Coach has the runners off on the motion to the plate. As first base is open now with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. I say let's run them. Smiley levels the bat as Hicks gets the sign from the dugout. Pivotal pitch for Henderson County here. And the payoff is going to be fouled out of play again. The next pitch in this sequence will be the 9th to Mason Smiley in this plate appearance alone, as he is really battling Cates out there, hoping and waiting for a mistake that hopefully will come right across the plate. From the stretch, the 3-2 once again is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will end the inning. But the Thoroughbreds come up with another run. They do it by getting a couple of base hits. There were no errors and 2 left. We're heading now to the top half of the 6th with your score. Harrison County 4 and Henderson County 1. You're listening to the 2023 Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Hinton Mills has been custom mixing feed for over half a century. In addition to continuing to produce our well-known cattle and horse feeds, we're now producing our own line of all-natural Kentucky Proud feeds for other species using the highest quality of local grains, vitamins, and minerals. My great-grandparents would be proud of Hinton's chick grower, layer feed, and our pig grower, all designed for those of you who enjoy the benefits of your own homegrown, farm-fresh products. Why shop elsewhere when you can get the highest quality feed made fresh here at home by the Hinton Mills team? Hinton Mills, serving farmers since 1918.
Angelo's Pizza, home of the Stromboli, located at 27 South of Cynthiana and 1311B West Shelby Street in Falmouth. They open at 10:30 each day, and they would love to feed you today. You know about their Strombolis. Did you know they have daily specials, including that pizza, the salad, sandwiches, and a whole lot more? Check out Angelo's Pizza, 27 South of Cynthiana and 1311B West Shelby Street in Falmouth, or call ahead 234-2328 in Cynthiana, or in Falmouth 654-5454. That's Angelo's Pizza.
All right, back here at Counter Field, Harrison County extends their lead by 1 to 4-1. As we head to the top half of the 6th inning through 5, Henderson, a run on 3 hits, 1 error. They've left 2 aboard. For Harrison County, 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. They've left 4 on base. Top of the order coming up against J.D. Kendall, the starter for Harrison County, about to begin his 6th inning of work. He's only thrown 51 pitches so far. That's fantastic. At Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of this state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau on Monday, 234-4514, and ask for Dustin or Amy. Drew Meadows, Cooper Vowles, and Brennan Cates, the top 3 of the order. Meadows 0 for 2, a fly ball to left. He's also struck out. Next pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1. Collecting himself a little bit is Meadows. Meadows, a senior. Kendall gets the sign from Brian Vaughn, and the pitch is going to be just a little bit outside for ball one. Great crowd, great atmosphere, great weather. It's all been here with us the last 3 days. Next pitch is going to be just a bit outside as the count goes to 2-1 on Meadows. What the Colonels need are base runners right now, down by 3. So the next pitch is delivered and fouled off into the Harrison County section, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 6 stands back in there. Outfield playing him straight away. And the break-even pitch is fouled off again. Off one of the windows of the sky boxes, which happens quite often. This count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meadows crowding the plate, standing way back in the box as well. The pitch is going to be popped foul in the Harrison County section again, so a couple of 2-strike foul balls by Meadows. So he battles to keep his team in this ball game. Over at third, Smiley in on the infield grass about 5 steps. Here's a shot past McElvain and into right center field for a base hit. Only the 4th base hit given up by Kendall on the day. So the runner on first and nobody out. Cooper Bowles will return to the plate. Bowles is 0 for 2, a ground ball out to third. He's also struck out in the game. Now he'll have a meeting with his third base coach and head coach, Adam Hines. We'll make sure that they're both on the same page with that runner at first. Corey Vaughn will be holding Meadows on. So coming back to the plate now will be Bowles. Bowles, a sophomore. Stepping into the batter's box will be Bowles, with Meadows being held on at first. Backing up now is Smiley to even with the bag at third. And the pitch is swung on and missed. 4 strike 1. As long as Kendall continues to throw strikes and doesn't get anything up in the strike zone, we'll be fine. This is still very much a game. Here in the quarterfinals of the state tournament, you don't get this far without being a decent team, and Henderson County by far a more than decent team. So stay tuned. The winner of this game will play the winner of our game coming up next between Whitley County and South Warren in the 6:30 semifinal next Friday at Kentucky Proud Park on the University of Kentucky campus. Championship game slated for a week from today at 7 o'clock, also at KPP. Next pitch is at the knees for a strike. So Vowles finds himself in the hole 0-2. Watch those gaps, guys. Watch those gaps. About a 1.5 lead at first base by Meadows. Here he goes. The pitch is going to be taken outside for a ball. The throw down is going to go into center field, but backing up the play will be Lewis. 1-2 the count on Vowles. But now Meadows down in scoring position. Breds bullpen was active earlier, like a couple of innings ago, but no activity presently. As Brian Vaughn goes out to make sure he and Kendall are on the same page as far as the signs are concerned. A lot of times, a runner on second, you change them around so that the guy on second doesn't deliver the news to the batter of what the pitch is going to be. Pitch is going to be down low again. Evens up the count at 2-2. Harrison County leading 4-1. We're in the top half of the 6th inning, and the Colonels threatening to put another run on the board. Next pitch is a bouncing ball to the right side. The only play for McElvain is to first base. He'll retire Vowles. And on down to third base will go Meadows. They'll bring Brennan Cates to the plate. Cates 0 for 2 as well. Ground ball out to third base. He's also had a fly ball out to center field. Right now, Brian Vaughn having to tie one of his cleats. And now he'll be ready to go. Defensively, the Thoroughbreds will play back. They'll give up the run for the out, which is a wise choice, leading 4-1 this late in the game. First pitch is down low for a ball. The Breds have not lost since they fell to Lexington Catholic back on April the 24th. Trying to keep their winning streak alive right now at 16 in a row as the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Meanwhile, Henderson County down by 3, and they're down to the last 5 outs. Wheel on the bat around is Cates. Down at third base, Meadows takes his lead as the pitch is delivered and bounced foul to the left side. Count goes to 1-2. One thing that JD's really done well today, he stayed ahead in the count. He's done so well, in fact, that he has not walked a batter so far and hit one. And has only gone to a 3-ball count on one batter. Next pitch, a bouncer to third, backhanded by Smiley. His throw across the diamond is true for out number 2. Coming down to score from third base will be Meadows, as it's now a 4-2 Harrison County lead. But there are now 2 outs and the bases are empty. As Paxton Gardner, the designated hitter, will come to the plate now. He's batting for the catcher, Jace Hicks. He's had a ground ball out to third and a liner to third baseman Mason Smiley. That was a hard shot that was right at Mason. First pitch to him here is going to bounce up there for ball 1. Everybody who came, I think, is stuck around for this one. Close game again. So the next pitch is outside. We've only had one really blowout in this tournament, and that was earlier today when Shelby County defeated Eastern 9-2. That game was really never in doubt. Here's a shot down the left field line by Paxton Gardner. Recovering the ball, feedback on his way to second. Gardner, here comes the throw, and it's going to be a bit far away from the second base bag. So Gardner keeps the inning going. And all of a sudden you look up and the potential tying run is at the plate in the person of Dax Wilson. Wilson has had a fly ball out to right field. He's also grounded out to short. Keep looking at the bullpen. Henderson County has someone up and throwing, but Harrison County's bullpen's quiet as they'll trust the senior, J.D. Kendall, to get this last out. Down at second base, Gardner, obviously with good speed, has just 9 steals on the season, but he got from home to second pretty quick on that last base hit. Here's a shot in the center field for a base hit. Lewis has it. They'll stop the runner, Gardner, at third, but now runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Colonels. And just like that, the potential go-ahead run is at the plate. In the person of Bryce Hayden, now Coach Whitaker will head to the mound. Bred's bullpen just getting up and active, but they were warming up just a couple of innings ago, so they should be able to be ready to go at practically any time as they are warming up in earnest out of the bullpen. I think Coach just wasting some time right now, giving his relievers a chance to get warmed up. Inning began with Drew Meadows singling. He then stole second base after Cooper Vowles grounded out to second base. That allowed Meadows to move to third. Then Meadows came home on the RBI ground out by Cates, but then a double by Gardner was followed by a single by Wilson to put runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Bryce Hayden at the plate. Kendall will stay in the ball game. And we're going to have a courtesy runner go down. No, it's not. It's Paxton Gardner. What was he doing in the dugout? Must have needed a drink. Over at first base, Wilson will be held on by Corey Vaughn. Bryce Hayden has been hit by a pitch and singled. So been on base twice in this ball game and now up in a critical condition. Or a critical situation anyway. As a throw over to first base is not in time. They tried to catch Wilson napping, but Wilson able to dive back in plenty of time. I don't get this dive where you go up in the air. We've seen a lot of kids be tagged out because they didn't go straight to the bag. Must be a new fangled thing. The pitch is, just barely outside. 4-1. Hayden, the first baseman. Wears the number 10 on the back of his jersey, one of those 8 seniors we talked about before on the Henderson County roster. From the stretch, Kendall's 1-0 is outside. Here goes the runner down to second base, and the throw goes into center field. Miscommunication big time by the Thoroughbreds as coming home on the throwing error, Willie Gardner. And now the Breds lead is just 1 at 4-3. Don't know what was supposed to happen there, but I'm positive it wasn't for the second base bag to be empty and Ryan Vaughn throwing that direction. That is the first error of the ball game committed by the Thoroughbreds. 4-3. A 2-out rally by Henderson County. Bryce Hayden still at the plate. A 2-ball and no strike count on him. Next pitch is down low for ball 3. This may be Kendall's last batter, whether Hayden gets on or not, as he is really laboring out there on the mound. As we said, the heat, very hot here. The humidity kind of up there too. A look back at second, the pitch is right down Main Street for a strike. Hayden was taken all the way on that 3-0 delivery. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Good thing the Breds got some insurance runs over the last couple of innings. Next pitch is a bouncer foul to the right side. That'll run the count full at 3-2. See, 7 and 12, 16, 19, 20. 25 pitches have been thrown by J.D. Kendall here in this inning alone. He had 51 through the first 5. Down at second base, Wilson takes his lead as the pitch is on the inside corner for strike 3. Beautiful pitch that time by Kendall to keep the Breds in front. But 2 runs crossed the plate for the Colonels in the frame. It came by way of 3 base hits. There was 1 Harrison County error and 1 Colonel left aboard. So as we head now to the bottom of the 6th, your score, Harrison County 4 and Henderson County 3. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Where do most accidents happen in the home? No, not the bedroom, the bathroom. Sorrel Home Medical is equipped to make your bathroom a safer place. We feature tub rails, grab bars, handheld showers, toy sailboats, tub transfer benches, elevated commode seats, and more to make your bathroom a safer place to do business. In Cynthiana, we're on West Pleasant.
You might think of Doug Hampton when you hear Palmer Hampton Realty, but we want to introduce you to some folks that you probably already know. Agents with Palmer Hampton Realty include Mary Todd Ashbrook, Lakin Wright, and Taylor Peoples. All 3 are ready to help you buy or sell commercial, residential, or farmland. Visit palmerhampton.com to learn more. Give them a call at 859-588-7120 or visit them in the office, 101 East Pike Street, Cynthiana. Get in touch with Mary Todd, Lakin, or Taylor at Palmer Hampton Realty.
All righty, back here at Quarterfinals Field in Lexington. Harrison County's one-time 3-run lead has been narrowed to just 1, with those 2 runs scored by the Henderson County Colonels in the last half inning. Making the score now, Harrison County 4 and Henderson County 3. I want to remind you that Canup Law understands that your situation is more than just a lawsuit or legal problem. It's your life. Visit CanupLaw.com to find out how Brian can help you out. Coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th for the Thoroughbreds, Malachi Feeback, J.D. Kendall, and Brian Vaughn. Feeback has been on base twice with a single and a walk. He's also scored a couple of times and had a stolen base. So a rather complete evening for the senior. We'll try to help get some of those runs back that we gave up in the top half of this 6th inning. Feedback stands in now. Brennan Cates back on the mound. He's gone the distance for, well, I take it back, it's somebody different. That's the Reed Reinhardt. Reed Reinhardt on the mound. So mark him down. Reinhardt taking over for the starter, Brennan Cates. 0-1 the count on feedback. Reinhardt's next pitch is poked foul to the right side, now to play. 0-2 the count now. Reinhardt pitched in the district championship game and in the first 2 regional tournament games. So this is his 4th appearance in this postseason. Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. They're 1 up and 1 down. Overall, figure it up real quick here. 3.1. Reinhardt has thrown 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 4 base hits while walking 6. He does have 9 strikeouts to his credit and has given up 3 earned runs. Next pitch to Kendall is popped foul and out of play to the right side for strike 1. Overall on the season, Reinhardt making his 10th appearance, all in relief. He's thrown 19 1/3 innings, giving up 22 walks and 16 strikeouts while giving up 15 hits. Giving up 13 runs, 9 of which have been earned, has a record of 1-0 with a save and a 3.26 earned run average. Here's a smack down the right field line, foul ball for Kendall. JD stops at first wisely as the right fielder Dax Wilson gets the ball back into the infield quickly. But the 3rd base hit of the day for Kendall. Helping his own cause there. Bryson Tucker will come in to run for Kendall at first, with Brian Vaughn coming to the plate. Brian is grounded out to third. He's also going to fly ball out to center field. Harrison County clinging to a 4-3 lead here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And now it looks like Brian's going to be taken down. Right now having a conversation with Coach Whitaker. And let's see who pops in here to take some swings. Mark Sadler relaying the information to the home plate umpire about who's coming out. And it looks like it's going to be Eli Phelps. So Phelps batting for Brian Vaughn here in the 6th inning. Giving Eli some experience at this level. Phelps has only batted 1 time in the postseason, but it was productive. It was in the win over Campbell County in the regional championship game, where he stroked an RBI base hit and later came around to score a run. Phelps overall on the season batting .450 on 9 out of 20, has a double and 5 RBIs. Over at first, Tucker being held on by Hayden. Reinhardt checks him out, and the pitch is a bouncer to the left side. Gloved by the shortstop center field. He'll get Galloway, and then Galloway on to first base for the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, none left. We're heading to the top of the 7th with your score. Harrison County 4 and Henderson County 3. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Friends Dan Tackett and Cynthiana Tire have been serving the auto needs of Cynthiana and the surrounding area since 1977. He likely knows you, your car, and the right questions to ask to match brand and tread type to safely meet your motoring needs. And being an authorized dealer for Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, and Michelin, assure a wide selection of tires to choose from. 1024 New Lair Road at the old RECC Farm is their location. 234-4371 their telephone number. Stop by or give Dan a call today.
Let's get real. It's not about doing what you're supposed to do. It's about doing what you want to do. At Maysville Community and Technical College, you'll find better, faster ways to do just that. Become a nurse in just 2 years, or get a certificate in a high-demand field in just a few months. You can even get the first 2 years of college out of the way for way less money. Visit maysville.kctcs.edu. College for the real world. College for your world.
Alrighty, here we go. Top of the 7th inning. Harrison County up by 1. The bottom third of the order coming to the plate for the Colonels, while J.D. Kendall returns to the mound to try to finish this one off. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans that handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more about it. As we mentioned in the pregame show, Harrison County 2-0 in one-run games this year. Meanwhile, the Colonels are battle-hardened in close games, going 5-5 in games decided by just a single run. Galloway 1 for 2, singling his last time up. He's also had a bouncer back to the mound. Kendall has only thrown 77 pitches, and his first one this time is going to be taken down low and outside for ball 1. No margin of error for the Harrison County Thoroughbreds. Galloway gets the sign before stepping back in the batter's box. Lights have been turned on here at Counterclocks Field. Next pitch is a bouncer to the left side, deep in the hole. It's grabbed by Harris, but he will not have a play. So the potential tying run gets aboard on the second base hit of the day for Seth Galloway. Now bring Caden Dotson to the plate. Dotson homered back in the third, then reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Over at first base, Corey Vaughn will hold Galloway on. Galloway on the season does have 7 steals. Now a bit of a conversation between the coach and his batter Dotson. Caden Dotson, a junior. Mason Smiley moves in on the infield grass several feet, expecting a possible bunt. As number 20 steps in against Kendall. J.D. a glance to first base. And now a throw that direction, but not in time. Breds up by 1, 4-3. Breds led by a 3-run margin at 4-1 going into the 6th. And the Colonels scored a couple of runs to narrow the gap to just 1. From the stretch, Kendall. The pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Nice pitch. 0-1 the count to Dotson. Let's see how big a lead that first base Galloway is getting. About a step and a half. That's safe. Kendall takes a look to see how far away from the bag he is. And the pitch is going to be bunted to the left side. Smiley has it. He'll throw on to first base to get the out, but the sacrifice is successful, moving the potential tying run into scoring position down at second base for Alex Satterfield. Alex Satterfield 0 for 2. He struck out and also grounded into an inning-ending fielder's choice. Satterfield wears the number 5. He's a junior as well. A lot of juniors on this Colonel team, and a lot of seniors, a lot of experience. First pitch is taken for ball 1. Both these clubs making their first appearance in the state tournament since 2013, but only one will move on to the semifinals. Leveling the bat at the plate is Satterfield. Down at second base, Galloway takes his lead, and the pitch is going to be down low once again. This count goes to 2-0. Bullpen silent. They're ready to go, I'm sure, if needed. Let's hope JD can throw some strikes here. Next pitch is a bouncer to shortstop. Harris has it. Throws to first base, and not in time. He bounced it from deep in the hole, and Alex Satterfield getting down the first base line quickly. Got in there on the infield single, and that will put runners on the corners with just one out. And at the top of the order coming up in Drew Meadows. Meadows has had a fly ball out to left, a strikeout. He's also singled and scored. And now Coach Whitaker making the slow stroll to the mound. I think he's going to just have to take JD out. Motions to the bullpen. So your situation is this. We are in the top half of the 7th inning. Right now, Henderson County leads by a score of 4-3. There's one out and runners on the corners, which includes the potential tying run in Seth Galloway. And coming to the mound to try and put out this fire will be Braxton Grubb. So while Grubb takes his warm-up, you're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Van Hook Hardware is a Cynthiana tradition with down-home customer service and a UPS service center. Drop by Van Hook Hardware on Pike Street and be sure to like them on Facebook.
Check out these bargains of the month while supplies last or until the end of the month. A 20-inch deluxe wind machine, $39.99. A 3x5-foot American flag, $15.99. A Four Seasons Courtyard extra large zero gravity chair, $59.99. A DeWalt brushless quarter-inch cordless impact driver kit, $119.99. A DeWalt 10-piece screwdriver set, $19.99. A performance tool trolley jack and stand combo, $89.99. 108-piece mechanics tool and socket set by DeWalt, $89.99. And a 2-pack of 16-pound original Kingsford charcoal, $19.88. Those bargains and a whole lot more at Van Hook Hardware in downtown Cynthiana.
All right, the new pitcher on the mound for the Thoroughbreds, Braxton Grubb, making just his second appearance in the postseason. His other appearance came in the regional tournament semifinals, where he pitched against Mason County. In that game, he pitched a complete game 5-hitter, gave up 5 hits and 1 walk while striking out 6. Gave up 4 runs, 2 of which were earned. Overall on the season, Braxton making his 10th appearance. This will be his first in relief, however. He's thrown 43 innings, giving up 33 hits and 18 walks while striking out 57. He's given up 24 runs, 15 of which have been earned. Has a record of 7-2, an ERA of 2.44, and opponents are batting just .204 against him. So here we go. Braxton Grubb will be trying to put out the fire with a potential tying run now just 90 feet away in the person of Seth Galloway, who had an infield single. After the sacrifice by Dotson, Satterfield also had an infield single. Of course, Corey Vaughn will have to hold the runner on at first. Smiley a couple of steps in on the infield grass at third. Middle infield back with 1 out. And Grubb's first pitch is going to be low and outside for ball 1. Breds have led most of this game and have never trailed. Standing way up in the box is Meadows. And the pitch is going to be outside again for ball 2. 2-0 the count to the Henderson County center fielder. Taking his lead from third, Galloway. Grubb's next pitch is going to be on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. 2-1 the count. High drama here at Counterclocks Field in the quarterfinals of the state baseball tournament. Grubb from the stretch. And the 2-1. Here goes the runner from first to second. There will not be a throw as the pitch is taken up high for ball 3. So now the potential go-ahead run in scoring position with just 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Breds infield moves in to try to cut off the run at the plate. Grubb takes a look at the runners, and the pitch is going to be down there, ball 4. So the bases are loaded with Colonels with just 1 out here in the 7th inning. And now Coach Whitaker heading to the mound. And I think it might be Jacob Craycraft time. So your situation is this now. We're still in the top of the 7th inning. Harrison County Their grip on that 4-3 lead seems to be slipping away as the Colonels have the bases loaded and one out. So while Jacob Craycraft takes his warm-ups, you're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
At Canup we say thank you to the Harrison County track, softball, and baseball teams. Little did you know back in March at the start of your season how much your success would mean to all of Cynthiana and Harrison County. Through determination and teamwork, all of you have earned the right to compete for Kentucky State Championships. Thank you for being a shining example of what is good in our community and challenging all of us to be our very best. We're rooting for you and hope you have the best weekend ever. Visit us at www.canuplaw.com, like having a lawyer in the family.
Would you like to know that your home is safe and secure while you're away? Auto Systems on Bridge Street in Cynthiana can help you with a variety of home security systems to meet your needs. Auto Systems is also your store for your car audio needs. They carry Kenwood, JL Audio, Pioneer with Bluetooth capabilities, and Sirius XM satellite radio. Make your car the envy of your friends. Stop by and visit Tony at Auto Systems, 107 East Bridge Street, or call 234-1578.
Since 1956, your local hometown station and the home of the Breds and Phillies, WCYN, 1400 AM and 101.3 FM.
All right, as we said, Jacob Craycraft takes to the mound for the Breds in his fourth appearance in this year's postseason. So far in his three previous outings, he's threw a total of 4 1/3 innings. Has given up 4 hits and 1 walk while striking out 2, but has not given up an earned run. Overall on the season, Jacob making his 12th appearance. This will be his 10th in relief. He's thrown 19 innings, giving up 19 hits and 12 walks while striking out 17. He's got 9 runs, 6 of which have been earned. Has a record of 1-1 with 5 saves. Those 5 saves tied for second in the state. Has an ERA of 2.21, and opposing batters are hitting .250 against him. He'll be facing Cooper Vowles, who is 0 for 3. He's had ground outs to third and second, surrounding a strikeout. Corner infielders in for Harrison County. Middle infielders back for a potential double play grounder. But the potential tying run just 90 feet away. Craycraft's first pitch is going to be a fly ball into center field. Lewis has it, tagging at third base is Galloway. The throw comes into third. And sliding home with the tying run is Galloway. And that makes the score 4-4. So Vowles gets the job done there. Now runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Brennan Cates coming to the plate. Cates 0 for 3 as well. And a couple of ground outs to third, one of which drove in a run. He's also a fly ball out to center field. So there will be a bottom of the 7th. And hopefully the score will still be tied. Forced at any base for the Breds. Craycraft trying to retire Cates. A look back at the runner at second. He's the key when that's Satterfield. Represents the potential go-ahead run as the first pitch is down low and inside for ball 1. In the bottom of the 7th, in case you're looking ahead, the Breds will have 9, 1, and 2 in the batting order coming to the plate. Against, we'll see. Craycraft from the stretch. And the pitch is fouled straight back. Evens things up at 1-1. Craycraft, the third pitcher of the day for the Breds. In fact, the third pitcher of the inning. Following in the steps of Kendall and Grubb. That last foul ball fouled off of Cates' inside of his foot. Trying to walk it off right now. But now I think he's ready to go. He stands back in there. Satterfield takes his lead from second, as does Meadows at first. And the 1-1 delivery is going to be inside for ball 2. Very nearly hit him as he's crowding the plate pretty good. Now steps back into the batter's box. From the stretch, Craycraft again. The 2-1 pitch is going to be on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Craycraft trying to preserve this tie and let his team go into the bottom of the 7th, just needing 1 run. Obviously a big pitch here for both sides. And the break-even pitch is sliced into right field, drops in there for a base hit. Rounding third and heading for home. Here comes the throw. It's up the line. And scoring from second will be Satterfield. And now the ball gets away and goes into the stands for an error. And that means that another run should score if it got into the dugout area, but I guess it did not. In any case, for the first time in the ball game, Henderson County has a lead of 5-4. And they have runners on second and third. I'll bring Paxton Gardner back to the plate. He doubled and scored his last time up. He's also lined out to third and had a bouncer to third as well. 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings has given Henderson County this lead, and now the Breds will intentionally pass Gardner to load the bases and force or create a force at every base for Dax Wilson. Wilson 1 for 3. Singled his last time up. He's also grounded out to short and had a fly ball out to right. Obviously, with 2 outs, the runners will be off on contact. 5-4 in the top of the 7th. Here, Henderson County in the lead now. First pitch is smacked down the right field line. Foul by a couple of feet. 4 strike 1. With the bases loaded, that could have been very bad for Harrison County fans. We're hanging in there right now, but we've still got another at-bat to go. And hopefully down by just a single run. Meadows at third, Cates at second, Gardner's over at first. And an 0-1 count on Wilson at the plate. From the stretch, Craycraft's pitch to the plate is in the dirt. Nice stop by Brian Vaughn. However, the count goes to 1-1 on what has been an interminably long 7th inning. Wilson, the 8th man to bat in the frame, has already produced a couple of runs. A look at the runners by Craycraft, and the pitch is going to be a bouncer past Smiley and down the left field line for a base hit. 2 runs will score for sure. Heading on into second with the 2-out, 2-run double is Dax Wilson as he puts his team up now by a score of 7-4. Boy, that ball hugged the line to where Smiley just could not make a play. So the Breds down by 3 now. And Bryce Hayden coming to the plate. He's been hit by a pitch, singled, and struck out. Runners still at second and third in this 4-run inning. Breds at one time led this game 4-1. First pitch to Hayden is outside for a ball. And led 4-3 going into this frame before giving up those 4 runs. Check of the runners, pitch to the plate is outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Hayden. And with no one warming up in the bullpen, it appears as though Craycraft will finish pitching no matter what happens. Next delivery is bouncing ball foul to the right side. This count goes to 2-1. Breds had this game seemingly in hand going into the 6th, but not so much. Here's a pop-up foul out of play, but the Breds still have a chance. 3 runs is not overwhelming. Count goes 2-2, and as I said, we'll have the 9, 1, and 2 batters coming up, facing either Reed Reinhardt or someone else. Towing the rubber is Craycraft. Now time called, and a balk is going to be called on Craycraft. So coming home on the balk will be Gardner to make it an 8-4 lead for the Colonels, as things have gone from bad to worse here in Lexington. Now Coach Whitaker going to the home plate umpire to ask what it was that Craycraft did to get a balk call on him. And now the umpires are going to get together to make sure that what the second base umpire saw was what he thought he saw on the balk call. So they're all the umpires are congregating between the mound and third. Coach Whitaker near home plate. And now wandering down the third base line, Coach Hines. And now they're going to say, I don't know what that motion is. There was not a balk. I think that's the call, because Coach Whitaker going back to the Harrison dugout and Coach Hines going out for an explanation. So everybody got to go back where they were before. So no balk. Puts Gardner back at third and Wilson back at second. Well, Coach Hines is not arguing. Yes, he is. He's going to argue some more about it. Plus, the score goes back to 7-4 and not 8-4. Home plate umpire giving a further explanation to Coach Hines about that balk call. But to no avail, he finally just throws up his hands and say, forget it. But he can't even say forget it without taking another shot at the home plate umpire. Now he's starting to get a little bit chirpy out there. Second base umpire is coming in to join in the conversation, as Coach Hines still is not satisfied with what the umpires have told him was the reason for the balk call. And now Coach Hines with his left arm just keeps pointing at the home plate umpire as he's talking to the second base umpire. And now we'll go back into the dugout, a very unhappy man. But the Colonels have a 7-4 lead. And that's all that's important right now, is to keep that deficit at just 3, so that the Thoroughbreds can have a chance in the bottom of the 7th inning. But momentum appears to be on the side of Henderson County. Craycraft peers in to get the sign from Brian Vaughn, and the break-even pitch is taken on the outside corner for strike 3, and that will bring the inning to a close. But in the frame, 4 runs come across the plate for the Colonels. They did it by pounding out 4 base hits. There were no errors, and 2 men were left stranded. As we head now to the bottom of the 7th-tier score, Henderson County 7 and Harrison County 4. You're listening to the 2023 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust on WCYN Sports.
Sometimes it's good to know that you don't have to drive all over the state to find the building materials you need to repair your home. 2x4s and nails, paint and brushes and caulk. You know we have the best selection of caulk in town. Also door locks, bolts and screws, treated lumber for your decks. We have quite a few products that no one else in town has. There's too many to mention. Really, I think you'll be surprised. Poindexter Lumber is behind you all the way, and that goes for the thoroughbred teams and Reds baseball. No matter the season, we say go Reds and go Breds. Come down and see the boys.
Feed your farm with Southern States Co-op in Cynthiana. Whether you need feed for dogs, chickens, pigs, rabbits, horses, or cattle, your local Southern States team can help you find the best nutrition program for all of the animals on the farm and around the house. Stop by Southern States on US 27 south of Cynthiana or call 234-2161. That's 234-2161. Curbside service is available.
All righty, here we go. The Breds need 3 runs to tie. It's as simple as that. Here at the bottom of the 7th, J. Sean Lewis, Elijah Harris, and Cliffy McElvain will come up to the plate against Reed Reinhardt, who came on in relief last inning and retired the side with just a base hit. Lewis on the day has had a fly ball out to right, an infield single, and he's also scored a run. The Breds not only have a chance to go on to the semifinals in danger, but they're also in danger of having their 16-game winning streak come to a close. So now's the time, boys, to get the job done. Reinhardt looks in to Hicks for the sign, and his first pitch to Lewis is outside and high for ball 1. Now's the time we need the energy from the Harrison County fan base who's made their way up to get behind our guys. The 1-0 drops in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Jay Sean. Sophomore left-handed batter stands back in there against the right-handed throwing Reinhardt. And the pitch is going to be a little high for ball 2. Lewis was showing bunt that time, which will cause Vowels to play in the grass a couple of steps. Now he'll back up near the cut as the pitch is delivered. Under the glove of the third baseman. Shortstop picks it up. His throw to first will not be in time. So a base hit by Jay Sean gets things started in a good way for the big guys here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's going to be a tough play anyway. Now bring Elijah Harris to the plate. Elijah has grounded out to short, had a double and a run scored. It's also had a sacrifice bunt. Over at first, Hayden will hold Lewis on. Elijah with that orange bat wheels it around. Good size lead at first base by Lewis. And the pitch is going to be outside for a ball. This is the 5th meeting between these two schools. Each team has 2 wins. It's their first matchup in the state tournament, however. And the next pitch is way high. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Harris looks for a sign. Now time called by the third baseman, Vowels. Will go in to have a word of encouragement for Reinhardt. Reinhardt in the hole. 2-0. Reinhardt is a junior. Cooper Vowels, who wins a top team, a sophomore. But now we're ready to go. A glance over to first. The pitch is going to be at the knees for a strike. Count goes 2-1 on Elijah. Harris takes a practice swing before stepping back in the box as Lewis takes his lead at first. And Reinhardt's pitch is sent down the line and out of play to the right side. And that'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harris, a junior, steps back into the batter's box and awaits a 2-strike pitch. Nobody out, 1 on. Breds down by 3. Bottom 7. Break-even pitch is fouled straight back at us. So the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harris on the year, hitting .260 with a 2-strike count on him. But also in those same situations, 16 walks and a hit by pitch. So he's gotten on base a lot with 2 strikes. Next pitch though is swung on and missed for strike 3. Pitch that may have been a bit outside and low. So 1 down for Cliffy McElvain. McElvain 0 for 3, he's due. Had a ground to third and a couple of pop-ups to the first base. Three-run lead for the Colonels. Hayden will continue to hold Lewis on. He began this inning with a base hit. Stretch the check and the pitch is sliced foul and out of play to the right side. 4 strike 1. South Warren and Whitley County. Their game slated to start at 8:30. The winner of that game and the winner of this game will face each other in the semifinals next Friday at 6:30. Next pitch, the plate bounces past the catcher. And on the wild pitch, down to second base will go Lewis. 1-1 the count now on McElvain. And really, for all intent and purposes, with the Colonels leading by 3, that run at second doesn't matter a whole lot. Stimpy tries to drive him in. A look to second, and the pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Leveling the bat over his right shoulder is McElvain. As Reinhardt takes a look at second, and the pitch is going to be just inside, 4-2. Evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and 1 on. On Cliffy, get a big base hit here. A look back at second, and the break-even pitch is a bouncer to the right side. Bobbled at first by Hayden, and cannot get to the first base. Oh, they did get there in time. I thought the flip to Reinhardt was not going to be in time, but he got it there a split second before Cliffy did. So 2 outs now in the inning, and the Breds are down to the last out. And the potential tying run still on deck. Right now, Corey Vaughn at the plate. Corey is grounded out to second and a fly ball to center, and also walked in the game. Breds had a great season, but we don't want to end right now. Especially the way it's happened, giving up 6 runs in the last 2 innings to turn a 4-1 lead into what is now a 7-4 deficit. The wind by Reinhardt, and the pitch is going to be down low. On that previous play, Lewis moved to third, but he's inconsequential now, especially with 2 outs. Everybody playing back for the Colonels. The last thing they want to have done now is a ball over their heads. And the pitch is a little looper that's going to be caught by the shortstop for the 3rd out, and that is the ball game. The Henderson County Colonels come all the way back from a 4-1 deficit to win by a final score of 7-4, and will now play in the semifinals on Saturday, or next Friday, against the winner of the South Warren Whitley County game coming up next. Meanwhile, Harrison County sees its 16-game winning streak come to an end, as well as the season, as they will finish the year a very good 32-9, a very good year, just ended at the wrong time. We invite you to join us for our post-game show. We'll go over all the stats, scoring, have a chat with a member of the Harrison County coaching staff, as well as name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. All that coming up after this timeout. But once again, from here at Counterclocks Field in Lexington in the quarterfinal round of the 2003 Clark's Pump and Shop Baseball State Tournament, presented by UK Healthcare and further presented by Stockyards Bank and Trust. Harrison County loses by a final